Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Thine is, oh yeah, the kingdom and the power and the glory, oh yeah, forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in Shemu'徵. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Shabbat shalom to the 12 tribes who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. First of all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem, Hamashiach, Wamalak, Yahweh Shai, and to the 12 tribes who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say shalom, wa, baruki, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day when the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone, with our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. Hallelujah. All praises to the Almighty Yah.
So be it. Hallelujah.
Yes, indeed. I'm joined this afternoon by my most esteemed Kenaniah. Shabbat Shalom, Aki.
Shabbat Shalom, Aki. Shabbaton Yasharal. Call Halal Yahweh. Bahashem Hamashiach Wamalak Yahweh Shai. Barakatham.
Yes, indeed. Happy Sabbath. And bless the name of Yahweh in the name of in the name of his beloved Son, Yahweh Shai, the Messiah and King. Bless you. Hallelujah. It is another Sabbath Yom, another set apart day to be grateful and thankful and give praise and honor and esteem unto the Most High, the power of Yisrael, the power of Yasha'al, the power of Yasha Allah, and for all of his wonderfulness, for all of the great things that he's done for we, his people, who is scattered to the four quarters, and he has promised to regather again to unto himself. So uh, we are here and thankful to be back on this set apart Yom. We're going to continue in the book of Second Shemu'ėl, Shemu'ėl Bête, and we are picking up at chapter 15, Absalom's conspiracy. So we were discussing before we came on, uh, the irony of this whole situation with Absalom and King Dawid. Uh, Dawid did this sin against the Most High, and he took a man's wife and laid with her and got her pregnant. And part of his punishment is the Most High would raise up someone from his own home, from his own. Did he say his household, or did he?
For his own house.
Yeah, yeah. So, and here that person is Absalom, his son, his own son. And for any father, for any man, you know that what a son means to a father. No matter how many sons you have, you can never have too many sons. Gideon had 69 sons, 60, was it 70 sons, 60 sons, something like that. And one son killed all of them. So you can never have too many sons. But that's what we pick up here. And the idea that a son could seek the life of his father and think that it could be for goodness and justify it in his own mind. So uh, that's kind of the dynamic that we're dealing with when we read this with Absalom. Now we know Absalom is way off, but somehow for Absalom to pursue this matter, he has to think somehow he's doing the right thing, because why else would he do it if he doesn't think it's the right thing to do? He's just following evil if that's the case. So let's continue. Let's start off here. Second Shemu'ėl chapter 15 and verse 1. And it came to pass after this that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses and 50 men to run before him. So you see, he's in the process of trying to take the crown, trying to take the position, the office of the king. So he's putting himself in that position. Verse 2, and Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man had any controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called unto him and said, of what city are you? And he said, your servant is of one of the tribes of Israel. And Absalom said unto him, see, your matter is good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear you. Absalom was said, moreover, oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which have any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And it was so that when any man came nigh to him, he did him obeisance. He put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. So what that means is, don't get me wrong now, this is not some homo stuff. What he did was he's showing these men respect, and he's showing them that they mean something. So you got this young man, this is the king's son, first of all. And so he's shaking their hands, he's showing them, he's saluting them, he's pulling them in, and that kiss, that just means like a greeting, like a solid greeting. You know how Negroes are, how we, dap you up, give you that good dap, you be like, make you feel good when somebody hits you with one of them good ones. So yeah, but that's what he was doing in these situations. All right, verse 6. And on this manner did Absalom to all of Israel that came unto the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. So this is how he was able to get all the men were rooting that he would become the king, that he would get the spot because
Mm-hmm.
they felt like he would be the best fit. And if he's convincing them of this, you know he believes this in his heart. He believes that he's the best thing for Israel. He's the best king, and he needs to be in that position. So this is how he's justified doing all this other stuff. Even Shaul, we read about Shaul here. He had justification as to why he wanted David dead. David didn't do anything to him. Even his son pled with him and said, "For what cause?" And yet he had it made up in his mind that David was his enemy. So continuing here, verse 7. And it came to pass after 40 years, 40 years, my goodness, I didn't realize it had been that long, that Absalom said unto the king, I pray you, let me go and pay my vow, which I have vowed to Yahweh in Hebron. For your servant vowed a vow while I abode in Geshur in Syria, saying, if Yahweh will bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, then I will serve Yahweh. And the king said unto him, go in shalom. So he arose and went to Hezron. What is that, go in shalom? That's got to be a phrase we need to know. Ha, ya, yalak? Yalak? Go?
Con.
Okay. Yalak. Yalak shalom. I said that's got to be one we got to know. Yalak shalom.
Like so. Con.
go in peace. So yeah, we got to get that one down. Yalak shalom. Yalak shalom. Remember that. Yalak shalom. Hey man, I gotta go. I'll catch you next time. Yalak shalom.
Con. Con.
Indeed. All praise. All right, we'll see if we remember that by the end of this. Verse 10. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, as soon as you hear the sound of the trumpet, then you shall say, Absalom reigns in Hezron. See, he building his case. And when Absalom went, it's like it. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. So they just go with him. They don't even know what's going on. They just going because he said go. Verse 12. And Absalom sent for
Uh, Ahithophel.
Ahithophel. I would have never got that out. Ahithophel. Hold on. Of the Gideonite, David's counselor for the from his city, even to Gilead or Gilon, uh, Gilon. Oh wait, yeah. While he offered sacrifice, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. So he's gathering more and more people. So the tide is completely changing. And David does not have a clue. He's completely unaware of the doings of Absalom. David flees Jerusalem. I wonder why he had to flee Jerusalem. Let's see, verse 13. And there came a messenger to David, saying, the heart of the men of Israel are after Absalom. That's why he had to flee. And David said unto all his servants that were in Jerusalem, that were with him at Jerusalem, arise, let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtakes us suddenly and brings evil upon us and smites the city with the edge of the sword. So now he realized what's going on, and he realized that his best resolution is to get away because he does not want to kill his son. Now remember, Dawid is this great warrior, magnificent warrior who slayed Goliath with a rock. All right, verse 15. And the king's servant said unto, and many, many, many more beyond that. I mean, that was the beginning of his warriorship that we see. Of course, he tells us that he slew a lion and a bear as well. So,
Mhm.
verse 15. Had to throw those points in there. And the king's servant said unto the king, Behold, your servants be ready to do whatever my Adonai, the king, has shall appoint. So he said, okay, we ready. We tell us what to do. But keep in mind that we does not want to kill his son. That's never an agenda for a father. Like, I'm gonna kill that boy. You just say that, but that's never. Like, we don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Verse 16. And the king went forth, and all the house and his household after him. And the king left 10 women, which were concubines, to keep the house. It's about to get interesting. Verse 17. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in the place that was far off. That was far off. And all the servants passed on beside him, and all the Karatites, and all the Perizzites, and all the Gideonites, 700 men, which came after him from Goth, passed on before the king. Then said the king to Itha the Gittite, Slaki, Itha the Gittite, wherefore go you also with us, return to your place, and abide with the king, for you are a stranger and also an exile. Whereas you came but yesterday, should I this day make you go up and down with us, seeing I go whether I may, return you and take back your brethren. Mercy and truth be with you. And Itha answered the king and said, As Yahweh liveth, and as my Adonai the king liveth, surely in what place my Adonai the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there also will your servant be. So, I might have been wrong about that. Remember when we read that in about what's his name, Uriah, and he said, as the king lived, and this is a foreigner, he says, as Yahweh lived. So I was expecting Uriah to say that, but Uriah didn't say it, which made me think he was a foreigner, but this guy is a foreigner, and he still said it. So, interesting. Verse 22. And Dawid said unto Itha, how do you say that? Uh, Go and pass over. And Itha the Gittite passed over, and all his men, and all his little ones with him, that were with him. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people passed over. And the king also passed over the brook of Kidron, and all the people passed over towards the way of the wilderness. This is ironic. Why are they using Passover so many different times?
Hmm.
Like, I know we read this before, and I'm like, why is they using this same term Abba. What are they trying to say here? Passed over or to go by. Okay, so like they literally said it like how many times was that? It was a ridiculous amount of times. That's not even a common term. I mean, even back then, was that a common term? Yeah, maybe it was. Old English wise, maybe that's what it was. So, anyhow, let's continue. Like, what does that mean? Okay, come on. Verse 24. And lo, Zadok also and all the Levites that were with him, bearing the ark of the covenant of the Most High, and they set down the ark of the Most High, and Ithabah and uh, a oh man, I can't get that Abathar. There we go, Abathar. I was like, I can't get Avatar, but no, I got it. Avatar went up until all the people that were had done passing out of the city. And the king said unto Zadok, carry back the ark of the Most High unto the city. If I have found favor in the eyes of Yahweh, he will bring me again and show me both it and his habitation. But if he have said, I have no delight in you, behold, here am I. Let me do to me what seemeth good unto him. Let him do to me what seemeth good unto him. If I'm not who I think I am, let it be so. I know
Con.
say that, but man, I guess that's real, you know. Keeping it real, you're keeping it real. Verse 27. And this is how you know these are, you know, this who would say that? If 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 I'm not who I think I am, let him deal with me accordingly. Like if that ain't Negro stuff, I don't know what is. Verse 27.
Right.
And the king said also, Zadok, Slacky. And the king said also unto Zadok the priest, are you not a seer? Return unto the city in Shalom, and your two sons with you, uh, Ahias, your son, and Jehonathan, the son of Abathar. See, I will tarry in the plains of the wilderness until there come a word from you to certify me. Zadok therefore and Abathar carried the ark of the Most High again to Jerusalem, and they tarried there. And Dawid went up by ascent of Mount Olet or Ovet, and wept as he went up, and had his head covered. And he went barefoot, and all the people that were with him, every man his head. Slack it. Let me start that again. It says, and all the people that were with him covered every man his head, and went up weeping, and they as they went up. So this is a place where we understand that this was not a situation Torah wise that forbids you to have a head covering on your head, because Dawid in this instance, who was not a sinner, who had done something wrong, but was justified because this was his only transgression that was counted against him, as it is written. Continuing here, verse 31. And one told Dawid, saying,
Ahiophel.
Ahiophel.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that one either. Tonai is among the conspirators with Absalom. And Dawid said, O Yahweh, I pray you, turn the counsel of Ahithophel into foolishness.
You
And it
know,
came to pass.
so Slack, y'all. So you know he was surprised by this.
Yeah.
Ahiophel is his Bathsheba's grandfather.
Oh,
So surely he would have, Dawid thought he would have been, with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is what this is what it means to this is what betrayal is. Betrayal is in your face, I'm smiling and we friends and we get along and I love you and you a good man and I'm a good man to you. But behind your back, I'm setting up everything in my own favor. And this is what I want it to be. And so you really that's why betrayal is such a thing because when it happens, you realize that this whole time you've been being played. And
Mm-hmm.
this cat has been playing you and for his own purpose. And he has no regard for anything that he said, any situation that you shared, you know, all the handshakes, all the hugs, all the meals, everything that you've shared with this person is meant nothing to them. But you was authentic. You was for real. But when somebody betrays you, everything you did for them meant nothing. And everything you did for them, you were authentic in yours, but in them, they had their own agenda. And that's why that thing hurts because you really put your trust. And the scripture tells us don't put your trust in man. But, you got to prove a friend at the same time. And so, yeah, it's difficult because it's such a light balance. And one little cotton ball can throw the whole thing off. A cotton ball
God.
weighs next to nothing. All right, continue in verse 32. And it came to pass that when Dawid was come to the top of the mount, there he worshipped the Most High. Behold, Hasha or
Who shall?
Husha, Husha. Man, these names are intense. Husha, uh, the Archite came and met him in the coast, rent, having his coat rent, and earth upon his head. So now he's in mourning. If you understand that, that's what that means. When you rip your garment and you put earth on your head, that's a, a, a posture of mourning or uh, making yourself as low as possible. Verse 33. Unto whom Dawid said, if you pass on with me, then you shall be a burden unto me. But if you return to the city and say unto Absalom, I will be your servant, O king, as I have been your father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be your servant, that you may, that then may you for me defeat the counsel of uh, I,
Uh,
I, say it again.
he fell.
Ahithophel. Oh man, Ahithophel. Tolaki. Oh boy. All right, continue. Verse 35. And and have you not there with Zadok and Abiathar the priest? Wherefore it shall be that what things soever you shall hear out of the king's house, you shall tell it to Zadok and to Abiathar the priest. Behold, they have there with them two sons, uh, As Maza, or not As, that's Ah,
It's God. Ahima, my eyes.
Ahima Ma'as.
Mm-hmm.
Zadok's son, Salaki, and Jonathan Abiathar's son. And by them you shall send unto me everything that you can hear. And Hashay, Dawid's friend, or yeah, Dawid's friend came unto the city, and Absalom came unto Jerusalem. So the plot is thickening as we continue here. So let's continue into chapter 16. Uh, Zabah, the false servant, a false servant. So sounds like somebody is about to get into some trouble. Let's see. This is the book of Second Shemu'ėl, chapter 16, verse 1. And Dawid went and slept past the top of the hill. Behold, Zabah, the servant of uh, Meshbosheth, met him with a couple of donkeys saddled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 200 bunches of raisins, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 summer fruits, and bottles of wine, and a bottle of wine. It's like verse 2. So he's coming to, feed the men here. Verse 2. And the king said to Zabah, what meaneth you by this? And Zabah said, these donkeys be for the king's household to ride on, and the bread and the summer fruit for the young men to eat, and the wine that such be faint in the wilderness may drink. And the king said, and where is your master's son? And Zabah said unto the king, behold, he abideth in Jerusalem. And he said, today shall the house of Israel restore the kingdom to my father. Then said the king to Zabah, behold, thine are all that pertaineth unto Meshbosheth. And Zabah said, I humbly beseech you that I may find grace in your sight, O Adonai, the king. Or my Adonai, the king, O king. Dawid is cursed. Verse 5. And when King Dawid came to Bahum, behold, there came out a man of the family of Shaul, whose name was Shimei. Shimei. Okay. That I makes that. Is that I to make the double E? Shimei. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Khan. I remember this story.
Yeah, Khan. All right. And the son of Gera, he came forth and cursed still as he came. He came forth and cursed still as he came. So he was just cussing like you. Just imagine the things he's saying to the king, which is crazy. Doesn't make sense. Verse 6. And he cast stones at Dawid and all the servants of King Dawid, and all the people, and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. So he got the baddest man in Israel right here with him. And yet this man come out throwing rocks and cussing like he nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like no regard for his own preservation. This doesn't make any sense. Verse 7.
He's a countryman and brother of not a direct brother, but he is a relative of King Shaul.
Yeah.
And Dawid has just reunited the nation like within the last 40 years. So this probably still would have been a tense relationship between Benjamin and Yehuda, and I kind of to give him the courage to do something like that. He probably felt like this already, but he has an occasion now because Dawid is on the run.
Come. Yeah, I get that, and they probably just not as privy to the what's the resume of these men that Dawid got with him. Dawid got a line of assassins next to him, and this guy is like he's by himself, or like he's not himself at all, like he's just a regular cat. So it's ironic. It's very ironic.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing in verse 7. And thus said Simi when he cussed, come out, you bloody man, and you man of we calling him a man of Satan. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. That's to a righteous man. Ooh, that's something you don't do. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying something about my mama. You don't call me, certain words that you can really get a man that can really get a man to move. And
Uh-huh.
it's about two or three street words that I can think of that'll get me off my seat. And then you call me a worshiper, a Satan? Oh no! I gotta no. Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play like that because that's not okay. Verse 8: Yahweh have returned upon you all the blood of the house of Shaul, and whose stead you have reigned, and Yahweh have delivered the kingdom unto the hand of Absalom your son. Behold, you are taken in your mischief, because you are a bloody man. Oh man, he calling him all the way out. Whew. Verse 9. Then said Abishai, the son of Zariah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my master the king? Let me go over, I pray you, and take off his head. That's what I'm saying. Dawid's rolling with Assassin's Row. And
Come.
this, this is not even sensible, but I get where he's coming from. I get it. Let's continue here. Let me go over there and take his head off. Like, how are you gonna come out there like this? Like we not out here. This is something you say in the privacy of your place, and you whisper it in. But now he coming out in the open to right where we at. Like, you know how disrespectful that is to a warrior,
Mm-hmm.
a dude that do this for a living. Oh man, let's go. Let's continue. Verse 10. And the king said, "What have I to do with you, O son of Zerah? So let him cuss, let him curse, because Yahweh have said unto him, Curse Dawid. Who shall then say, Wherefore have you done so?" Like, let him have his way. He just doing what he instructed to. Uh, and Dawid said to Abishai and to all his servants, Behold, my son, which came forth from my bowels, seek my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone and let him curse, for Yahweh have bade him. Yeah, the Most High have given him that ability, so we're gonna let him do what he's doing. It may be that Yahweh will look on my affliction, and that Yahweh will requite me good for his cursing this day. Like, yeah, he might look on this and like, you had mercy on Shimmy, and so I'm gonna have mercy on you. And as Dawid and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against him, and he cussed as he went, and threw stones at him, and cast dust. Like he was really out there. I mean, he was really like this wasn't no lightweight thing. Like, this wasn't just him talking. You know what I'm saying? Like he was throwing rocks. Like, yo, what's wrong with this dude?
Well,
It's bugging for real. Like, throwing rocks at us? Like, you know who we are? Verse 14. And the king and all the people that were with him were came weary to refresh themselves there. Absalom enters Jerusalem. Verse 15. And Absalom and all the people the men of Israel came to Jerusalem and at the Bahel with him. And it came to pass when Heshai,
I'm not Hushua, but Hushai.
Hushai, oh man, what I say, Heshai, Hushai. Look, I don't put an A in there. It's who, H-U,
Khan.
A-I, Hushai. Okay, Khan.
And it's probably pronounced without that H. I'm willing to bet. Let me see.
Like Ushai?
Ushai is what it says now. Yeah, Ushai.
Ushai. Okay, Ushai. The Archite, David's friend, came unto Absalom, and Ushai said unto Absalom, the Most High say the king. Most High say the king. And Absalom said to Ushai, is it your kindness to be to your friend? Why would you not with your why went you not with your friend? And Ushai said unto Absalom, Nah, la'ah, but whom Yahweh and his people and all the men of Israel chose, he will be, his will I be, and with him will I abide. You know, I don't know if I could do that. I would be fearful to put Yahweh's name into something that I know is not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I'm not saying the brother's wrong for doing it, but I could not do that. I could not put myself in that position. You know, when we was little children, they used to say, you say this and that, and they say, swear to God, I'll never do it. No, not doing it.
Come.
If you do that, I'm not doing it. Verse 19. And again, whom shall I serve? Should I not serve the presence of his son, as I have served in your father's presence? So will I be in your presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you and what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto your father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all of Israel shall hear that you are abhorrent of your father. Then shall his hand and all that are with you be strong. Whoa. Verse 22, Salaki. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. And the counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired of an oracle of the Most High. So was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom. Well, the Most High said, you did this thing in secret, but I'm going to do it in front of all of Israel. Oh, my goodness.
Come.
Now, if we can take anything from this, do not play with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But when David did this thing, he knew he was wrong. He knew he shouldn't have been messing with this man's wife. He should have he had wives of his own. He didn't even have to have that woman. That woman wasn't even necessary for him, you know, but he couldn't stop himself from doing what he did. But man, if he'd have thought that this would have been the result, I know he would have been like, nah. Because reading this and seeing how the Most High don't play, Yahoo is like, no, I would never. You can't convince me. You can't tempt me with some man's wife. Foreigner, uh, Israelite, nothing. It don't exist. None of them. Because
Uh-huh.
I fear Yahweh. And seeing what he's done here, like everything that he said through the prophet, what was the prophet that came to him? Was it
It was Nathan.
Nathan? Yeah. Everything that Nathan said is coming to pass. He said, I'll raise up uh, trouble out of your own house. And everything that's going to be a problem. Oh, boy. Let's continue here. This is Second Shemu'ėl. Oh, man. If you're taking anything away from this, what we read here, do not play with the Most High. He will not play with you. He will not play with us. He is so serious in all of his doings. He's terrible in his doings. And he will
Uh-huh.
punish us. If we haven't learned this, I don't know why we didn't learn this from the before we went off to where we could go into the uh, this captivity or all these other captivities. Mind you, this is before we were captives. Since we hadn't been captives since well, since the judges, since the time of the judges. We hadn't had captivity since that time. So whew, all right. Let me gain my composure here. My gracious. All right. It's the second Shemu'ėl, chapter 17, Hushai's counsel, or Ushai's counsel. Moreover, verse 1. Moreover, Ahila el
Ahiophel.
Ahiophel, Tolaki, said unto Absalom, let me choose out 12,000 men, and I will arise and pursue after Dawid this night. And I will come up on him while he is weary and weak handed, and I will make him afraid, and all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only, and I will bring back all the people unto you, the men who are the man who you seek is as if all return, so all the people shall be in shalom. So he's giving him an option to take out the king. Let's see what Absalom says. Verse 4. And he said, and the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. Now, this is crazy. Like, literally, the same people that was with Dawid are now with Absalom. And the same way they wanted him to prevail against Shaul, they want Absalom to prevail against him. Like, there's no loyalty. Like, nobody's saying, dude, are you crazy? This is your father. No. They all like, yeah, you the man. We're going to roll with you. Like, what? I could see Absalom taking, like, the next generation, like, key people of his generation. But he's taking the ones that were Dawid's generation and before. He's taking all of them. Like, they all are with him. It's crazy. Verse 5. It's crazy. Then said Absalom, call now Ushai, the Archite, also, and let us hear likewise what he said. And then it's like, and when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel has spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak you. And Hushai said unto Absalom, the counsel of Ahithophel has given is good. It's not good at this time. And 4 said Hushai, you knoweth your father and his men that they be mighty men, and they be chaffed in their minds, as a bear robbed, as a bear robbed of her whelp, as a bear robbed of her whelp in the field. Your father is a man of war, and will not lies with the people. Behold, he is hid not in some pit or in some other place. And it will come to pass, when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever heareth it will say, there is a slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. And he also is a valiant, whose heart is as the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knoweth that your father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are valiant men. Therefore, counsel that all of Israel be generally gathered unto you from Dan to Beersheba, and the sand that is in the sea for multitude, and that you go to battle in your own person. So shall we come upon him in the same place where he said, where he shall be found, and we will light up him as the dew falleth on the ground, and of him and of all the men that are with him, there shall be none left so much as one. Moreover, if he be gotten in the city, then shall all Israel bring ropes to the city, and will draw it unto the river, until there be not one small stone found there. So Hushai is offering a different situation where he basically tried to lure Dawid into the city, where he wants to lull Absalom to believe that they lured Dawid into the city and they could get him and his mighty men, because these men are not going to flee from before him, which is very accurate, because them men wouldn't take off running. They're warriors. They have to die and run. Continuing here, verse 14. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for Yahweh have appointed a defeat of good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent of Yahweh might bring evil upon Absalom. Hushai warning saves Dawid. Verse 15. And when Hushai then said Hushai unto Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled. Now therefore send quickly and tell Dawid, saying, lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him. Now Jehoiakim the Ahimelite, Abzite. I messed that one up. I am Za.
It's Ahima Ahimaz
Ahimaaz. Ahimaaz stayed uh, in Goel,
in Rogel.
in Rogel. Slaki. I left the R off, my bad. Tolaki. In Rogel. For they might not be seen to come into the city. And a wrench went and told them. And they went and told King Dawid. Nevertheless, the lad saw them and told Absalom. But they went before, they went both of them away quickly and came to a man's house in Bahuram and Slakia, which had went to his court, whether he went, whether they went down. And the woman took and spread the covering over the whale's mouth, and spread ground corn thereon, and the thing was not known. And when Absalom's servants came to the woman to the house, they said, "Where is Ahim Umaz and Jonathan?" And the woman said unto them, "They be gone over the brook of water." Then they had sought and could not find them. They returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass that they departed, and they came up out of the well. And when they told the king Dawid, Slaki, and went and told King Dawid, and said unto Dawid, "Arise and pass quickly over the water, for thus have Ahithophel counseled against you." Then said, when Dawid arose, and all the people that were with him were, and they passed over Jordan by the morning light, and there lacked not one of them that was gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that the counsel was not followed, he saddled his donkey and arose and got him home to his house and his city, and put his household in order, and hung himself, and died, and was buried in the sepulchre of his father. And that's crazy. We were just talking about a brother hanging himself last night.
God.
That's crazy. How ironic is that? We read that today, and we were just talking about that last night. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 24. When Dawid came to Ahilo, I don't know I'm messing up these names, forgive me. I'm trying to get through this here. And Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And Absalom made Ama, Ama,
Amazah.
Amazah, S-I, S-A-I, A-S-A?
I think Amasa, I think.
Amasai. All right. And Absalom made Amasai captain over the host instead of Joab, which Amasai made was a man's son whose name was Athirah, an Israelite. And when uh, Abigail, the daughter of Nahash, sister of Zerah, Joab's mother, so Israel and Absalom pitched in the land of Gilead. And it came to pass when Dawid was come over Maha, Maha,
Mahanam.
Mahaal, that Shabah, the son of Nahash of Rabath, the children of Ammon, and Makah, the son of Ma'ana, Ma'anel of La
Lodabar.
Lodabar. I was gonna say Bor. Lodabar. And uh, Barzeli and the Gleedite of Ro Rogli, yeah, Glee, and brought bears and bisons, or yeah, bisons, and earth vessels, and wheat and barley and flour and parched corn, beans and lentils and uh, parched pulse and honey and butter and sheep and cheese of kind for Dawid and his and the people that were with him to eat. For they said, the people is hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. So they know that they need some good food, and they brought it in abundance and hooked it up. All praise.
God.
Yes, indeed. Continuing here. Absalom slayed. I kind of hate they give away the plot, you know what I'm saying, at the headline. So this is Second Shemu'ėl chapter 18, verse 1. They should say Absalom. I wouldn't say that part. I'd be like, Absalom's situation? Maybe, I don't know. Verse 1. And Dawid numbered the people that were with him and set captains over thousands and captains over hundreds over them. And Dawid set forth a third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and a third part under the hand of Abishai, and the son of Zerah, Joab's brother, and a third part under the hand of Ithiar the Gittite. And the king said unto the people, I will surely go forth with you myself also. But the people answered, you shall not go forth, for if you flee away, they shall not care for us, neither if half of us die, will they care for us. But now you are worth 10,000 of us. Wherefore, now it is better that you succor us out of the city. Verse 4. And the king said unto them, what seemeth you best will I do. And the king stood by the gate side, and all the people came by the hundreds and the thousands. And the king commanded Joab and Abishai and Ithiar, saying, deal gently for my sake with the young man, even with Absalom. So he's telling them, don't kill him, don't hurt him. And all the people heard the king and gave all the captains charge concerning Absalom. So the people went out of the field against Israel, and the battle was in the wood of Ephraim. When the people of Israel were slain before the servants of Dawid, there was a great slaughter that day of 20,000 men. My gracious. I mean, they are in a fierce battle. Verse 8. For the battle was very scattered over the face of all the country, and the wood devoured more people that day than the sword devoured. So the irony is that they fought. Now we have subdued. Of course, we're talking, years and years later. Over 40 years have passed. But Dawid has subdued Edom. He subdued Moab. He subdued Syria. All of these enemies he subdued, and yet here we are, fighting in our own land against ourselves. I mean, do not play with the Most High.
God.
Do not play with the Most High. I hope that's clear here, because we just read a couple of weeks ago where David had put all his enemies to subjection, and that they brought him gifts, and that even some of his other enemies were, uh, you know, bringing tribute to him without even him saying, without even him going to them. They was coming to him because they heard of what he did to them over there. So they bringing him stuff there. And yet all of that just went to this. Now, here we are in our own land. 20,000 of our people, of Israelites, are dead here in this battle because of a mistake that the king made. So don't play with the Most High. Verse 9. All right. And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule was under a thick broth, or broths of a great oak, and his head was caught hold of an oak, and he was taken up to Shemu'იმ and to the earth, and the mule was under him when he went, and the mule was under him went away. So he's hanging by his hair, is what we understand it here. Verse 10. And a certain man saw it, and told Joab, and behold, and said, Behold, I saw Absalom hanging in the oak. And Joab said unto the man that told him, And behold, you saw him, why did you not smite him there to the ground? And I would have given you 10 shekels of silver and a girdle. Joab like, why you kill him, man? I would have paid you something.
God.
Joab, look, I'm gonna tell you something about Joab. Joab was today. Joab is that cat that got the car hood up, and he be picking up the engine out of the car, set it on the ground, and then somebody else come and hook it to the little thing, and it raise up the engine off the ground. That's who Joab is today. You know what I'm saying? Joab is that type of cat. You think this might hurt him, but he catch it and hold it, and it don't hurt him. He just hold it like he got it. Like that's who Joab is here today. Verse 12. Verse 12. And the man said unto Joab, I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver at your hand. Though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver at your hand, yet would I not put forth my hand against the king's son. For in our hearing the king charged you and Abishai and Ithiah, saying, Beware that none touch the young man Absalom. Otherwise, I should have wrought falsehood against my own life. For there is no matter hid from the king, and you yourself would have set your hand against me, yourself against me. They're like, he'd have put you on me if I'd have messed with that man's son. You out your mind? I'm not finna the king's son. And he'd send you after me if that was the case. Then said Joab, I may not tarry here with you. And he took 3 darts in his hand and thrust them through the heart of Absalom while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak. So Joab was the one that killed Absalom. Verse 15. And 10 young men that bore Joab's armor compassed about and smote Absalom and slew him. And Joab blew the trumpet, and the people returned from pursuing after Israel, and Joab held back the people. And they took Absalom and cast him into a great pit in the wood, and they laid a very great heap of stones upon him. And all of Israel fled, every one to his tent. So they know David is going to be beside himself because of his son is not only dead, but he's died a pretty hard death. Verse 18. Now I can't exactly blame Joab or the men that were with him, the young men that were with him, because this man had them on the run. Like Absalom took them out of their homes and caused them to flee for their lives. And if they had been caught by Absalom, they would have died. They would have been killed. So it's hard to say catch him but don't kill him. To somebody who's you say this to men who this same one that you want them to catch was trying to kill them. That's a hard ask. Let's continue. Verse 18. Now Absalom in his lifetime had taken and reared up himself a pillar which is in the king's dale. For he said, I have no son to keep my name in remembrance. And he called the pillar after his own name, and it is called unto this day Absalom's place. So he raised up a place for himself and called it after his. So he said, let's go check out Absalom's place, whatever he was trying to show it to somebody. Oh my goodness. Verse 19, this brother was very vain. I mean, he was overly vain. Dawid is grief stricken. Again, they give away the plot in the title. Verse 19. Then said Ahimaaz, son of Zadok, let us now run and bear the king's tidings, how Yahweh have avenged him of his enemies. And Joab said unto him, you shall not bear tidings this day, but you shall bear tidings another day. But this day you shall bear no tidings, because the king's son is dead. Like, look, man, you can't go celebrate this thing. Not today, because though he's his enemy, is his son as well. Verse 21. Then said Joab to Cushi, go tell the king that you have seen. And Cushi bowed himself to Joab and ran. And when Amaziah, the son of Zadok, yet again, I messed it up. Then said Amaziah to the son of Zadok, yet again to Joab, but howsoever, let me, I pray you, also run after Cushi. And Joab said, wherefore will you run, my son, seeing that you have no tidings ready? Like, what you want after Cushi for? You don't got nothing to tell Cushi. But howsoever, howsoever, said he, let me run. And he said to him, run. Then Ahimaaz ran by the way of the plains and overran Cushi. And Dawid sat between the two gates, and the watchman went up to the roof of over the gate unto the wall, and lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man running alone. And the watchman cried and told the king. And the king said, if he be alone, there is a tidings in his mouth. And if he came apace and drew near, and he came apace and drew near. And the watchman saw another man running, and the watchman called unto the porter and said, behold, another man running alone. And the king said, he also bringeth tidings? And the watchman said, me thinking he's running in the foremost is like running in uh, Amahaz, Ahimaaz, and the son of Sadat. And the king said, "He is a good man. He comes with good tidings." So I just imagine this has got to be nerve wracking for King Dawid, because he's sent his people off, and he's standing there waiting to see what's going to happen. And now he sees somebody coming, and he don't know what's happening. They coming to say good, they coming to say bad. Let's see. Verse 28. And Ahimaaz called and said unto the king, "All is well. We have fell down upon the earth, upon the face before the king, and said, Blessed be Yahweh, your power, which have delivered up the men that lifted up his hand against my Adonai, the king." And the king said, "Is the young man Absalom safe?" And Ahimaaz answered, "When Joab sent the king's servant and me, your servant, and I saw a great smoke, but I knew not what it was." And the king said unto him, "Turn aside and stand here." And he turned aside and stood still. And behold, Cushi came, and Cushi said, "Tidings, O Adonai the king, for Yahweh have avenged you this day all of them that rose up against you." And the king said to Cushi, "Is the young man Absalom safe?" And Cushi answered, "The enemy of my Adonai the king, and all that rose up against him against you to hurt, be as that young man is." And the king was very much moved, and went up to his chamber over the gate, and wept, and said, I got something in my eye. Oh my goodness. Slack it 1 second. Okay. Had a little burning in my eye for some reason. All right. Verse 33. And the king was very much moved, and went up to the chambers of the gate, and wept. And as he went up, thus he said, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son, Absalom. Oh, Most High, I had died for you. Oh, Absalom, my son, my son." So the king did not want to see his son die, because he wanted his son to repent. He wanted his son to turn from that wickedness. And he didn't get an opportunity to. Instead, he died in his wickedness. And so, if you notice before, in the previous chapters, when the baby died, he got up, washed his face, anointed his head, and ate bread. But when Absalom died, he mourned greatly, because Absalom died in wickedness. Mm-hmm. All right, you got it from here, Art?
Indeed, Art. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 19. Joab reproves Dawid's lament. Verse 1. And it was told Joab, "Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom." And the victory that day was turned into mourning unto all the people. For the people heard say that day how the king was grieved for his son. So, a moment of celebration and victory and being happy is now displaced because Dawid is upset, over the death of his son, who had really disrespected him on a whole nother level, but even then, it's still his son, and this was our people's king, so he was mourning, so we were mourning as well.
Right, exactly.
All right, verse 3. And the people got them by stealth that day into the city, as people being ashamed steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, "Oh, my son Absalom! Oh, Absalom, my son, my son!" And Joab came into the house to the king and said, You have shamed this day the faces of all your servants, which this day have saved your life and the lives of your sons and of your daughters and the lives of your wives and the lives of your concubines. So, Joab was aware that Absalom was off, and, had they lost that battle, it would have meant the death of David's remaining family members, possibly,
Yeah, all of them, indeed.
All right, verse 6. And that you love your enemies and hate your friends, for you have declared this day that you regarded neither princes nor servants. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived, that Absalom had lived and all we had died this day, then it had pleased you well. Now, therefore, arise, go forth and speak comfortably unto your servants. For I swear by the Most High that if you go not forth, there will not tarry one with you this night, and that will be worse unto you than all the evil that befell you from your youth until now. Continuing, David restored as king. Verse 8. Then the king arose and sat in the gate, and they told unto all the people, saying, Behold, the king do sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king, for Yasharal had fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Yasharal, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines. And now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. And Absalom, whom we appointed over us, is dead in battle. Now, therefore, why speak you not a word of bringing the king back? And King David sent Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, saying, Speak unto the elders of Jehoiada, saying, Why are you the last to bring the king back to his, seeing the speech of all Yasharal is come to the king, even to his house? You are my brethren, you are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are you the last to bring back the king? And say you to Amasa, Are you not out of my bone and out of my flesh? The Most High do so to me, and more also, if you be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of all the men of Jehoiada, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, Return you and all your servants. So, this could have been a difficult transition, the way that he left. It could have been, more contention for the throne, but the people are, bring back the king. All right. Yeah. Verse 15. So the king returned and came to Jordan, and Jehoiada came to Gilgal to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, a Benamite, which was of Bahurim, hasted and came down with the men of Jehoiada to meet King David or King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba, the servant of the house of Shaul, and his 15 sons, and his 20 servants with him. And they went over Jordan before the king. And they went over a ferry boat to carry over the king's household, and to do what he thought good. And Shimei, the son of Gera, fell down before the king as he was come over Jordan, and said unto the king, Let not my master impute iniquity upon me, neither do you remember that which your servant did perversely the day that my Adonai the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart. So don't hold it against me of what I said to you before, right? For your servant, verse 20, for your servant do know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph to go down to meet my master the king. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, answered and said, shall not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed Yahweh's anointed? And Dawid said, what have I to do with you, sons of Zeruiah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall there any man be put to death this day in Yasharal? For do not I know that I am this day king over Yasharal? Therefore the king said unto Shimei, you shall not die. And the king swore unto him. And Mephibosheth, the son of Shaul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes, from the day the king departed unto the day he came again in Shalom. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, wherefore wentest not you with me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, my Adonai, O king, my servant deceived me. And your servant said, I will saddle me a donkey, that I might ride on it, that I might ride thereon, and go to the king, because your servant is lame. And he hath slandered your servant unto my Adonai the king. But my Adonai the king is as a mallet of the Most High. Do therefore what is good in your eyes. So, I wonder if this is true, or if he's just making an excuse of why he didn't leave out with the king when he left out.
Well, what this Yahweh son, one that was legs are no good?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So I mean, he wouldn't have been of help to him because he don't have working legs.
But I think everybody that was with Dawid left out with him, except for the one that he told to, spy.
Okay.
Yeah. Verse 28. For all of my father's house were but dead men before my Adonai the king. Yet did you set your servant among them that did eat at your own table. What right, therefore, have I yet to cry any more to the king? You've been more than kind to me. What else can I do, to spare my life at this point? Right. Verse 29. And the king said unto him, why speak you any more of your matters? I have said, you and Zibi divide the land. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Khan, let him take all, for as much as my Adonai the king is come again in Shalom into his own house. Verse 31. And Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Rogelim and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 84 years old, and he had provided the king of substance while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. And the king said unto Barzillai, come you over with me, and I will feed you with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, how long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 84 years old, and can I discern between good and evil? Can your servant taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then should your servant, be yet a burden to my Adonai the king? Your servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king. And why should the king recompense me with such a reward? Let your servant, I pray you, turn back again, that I might die in my own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold, your servant Kimham, let him go over with my Adonai the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto you. And the king answered, Kimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto you. and whatsoever you shall require of me, that will I do for you. And all the people went over Jordan, and when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai and behooved him, and he returned to his own place. Then the king went to Gilgal, and Kimham went on with him, and all the people of Yahweh conducted the king, and also half the people of Yasharal. And behold, all the men of Yasharal came to the king and said unto the king, why have our brethren, the men of Yahweh, stolen you away, and have brought the king and his household, and all David's men with him, over Jordan? And all the men of Yahweh answered the men of Yasharal, because the king is near of kin to us. Wherefore then be you angry for this matter? Have we eaten all of the have we eaten at all of the king's cost, or have he given us any gift? And the men of Yasharal answered the men of Yahweh and said, we have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than you. Why then did you despise us? That our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king. And the words of the men of Yahweh were fiercer than the words of the men of Yasharal. So, again, this reminds me of kind of how we are now, finding anything to kind of beef about and argue about and separate about,
Right, exactly. My goodness. Like, we got more of the king than you do. Yeah, he might be your next king, but he got 10 tribes here to be concerned about. So what? Like, man, go sit down.
All right. Let's see. All right, this is the second book of Shemu'ėl, chapter 20. Sheba's revolt, verse 1. And there happened to be there a man of evil, whose name was Sheba, the son of Bechri, a Benamite. And he blew a trumpet and said, we have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tents, O Yasharal. So every man of Yasharal went up from after David and followed Sheba, the son of Bechri. But the men of Yahweh clave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. So there we have it. We've got division again amongst our people,
My goodness.
All right, verse 3. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them in ward, and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. So were they actual widows? No. But it was similar to being a widow, an unmarried woman, because David didn't go back into them because of what had been done with them and his son, right?
Yep.
Verse 4. Then said King to Amaziah, assemble me the men of Yahweh within 3 days, and be you here present. So Amaziah went to assemble the men of Yahweh, but he tarried longer than the set time which had been appointed him. And David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba the son of Bechri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take you, my Adonai's servants, and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Kerethites, and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men. And they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bechri. When they were at the great stone which is in Gibeon, Amaziah went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out. And Joab said to Amaziah, are you in health, my brother? And Joab took Amaziah by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. Now, this sounds treacherous,
Right.
Amaziah knows it.
Right.
In verse 10, but Amaziah took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand, so he smote him therewith in the 5th rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba the son of Bichri. And one of Joab's men stood by him and said, he that favoreth Joab, and he that is for Dawid, let him go after Joab. And Amaziah wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. And when the man saw that all the people stood still, he removed Amaziah out of the highway into the field, and cast a cloth upon him. When he saw that every one that came by him stood still, revolt put down. Verse 13. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. And he went through all the tribes of Yasharal unto Abel, and to Beth Maacah, and unto Berites. And they were gathered together, and went also after him. And they came and besieged him in Abel of Beth Maacah, and they cast upon a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench, and all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, Shema, say, I pray you, unto Joab, Come near hither, that I may speak with you. And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, Are you Joab? And he answered, I am he. Then she said unto him, Hear the words of your handmaid. And he answered, I do Shema. Then she spake, saying, They were wont to speak in old times, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Abel. And so they ended the matter. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Yasharal. You seek to destroy a city and a mother in Yasharal. Why will you swallow up the inheritance of Yahweh? And Joab answered and said, Far be it from me, that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so, but a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, have lifted up his hand against the king, even against Dawid. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown to you over the wall. Wow. This definitely does prevent, more, senseless bloodshed between our people, Verse 22. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and cast it out unto Joab. And he blew a trumpet, and they retired from the city, every man to his tent. And Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Now Joab was over all the hosts of Yasharal, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Kerethites and over the Pelethites. And Adoram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Elihud, was recorder, and Sheba was scribe, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priests, and Ira also the Yerite was a chief ruler about Dawid. All right. This is the book of 2 Shemu'ėl, chapter 21. Gibeonite revenge, verse 1. Then there was a famine in the days of Dawid 3 years, year after year. And Dawid inquired of the Most High, or of Yahweh. And Yahweh answered, It is for Shaul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. So, the Gibeonites were, they changed the name of it to Gibeah, I believe. But before, the Israelites were there, it was the place of Hivites, and I believe they tricked Shaul, or maybe yeah. I believe that we were supposed to leave them alone because of a decree or a promise that was made, back during the days of the judges.
Right.
Shaul, went against that and slew him.
Indeed.
Verse 2. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Yasharal, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Yasharal had sworn unto them, and Shaul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Yasharal and Yahwadah. So they were Amorites, not Hivites, like I had said.
Yeah.
Verse 3. Oh, you had something, Mark?
I said you was close, though.
Yeah, kind of. All praise. Verse 3. Wherefore Dawid said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement, that you may beroot the inheritance of Yahweh? And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Shaul, nor of his house. Neither for us shall you kill any man in Yasharal. And he said, what you shall say, that will I do for you. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us, and that devised evil, that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Yasharal. Let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them unto Yahweh in Gibeah of Shaul, whom Yahweh did choose. And the king said, I will give them. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Shaul, because of Yahweh's oath that was between them, between Dawid and Jonathan, the son of Shaul. But the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Ahiah, whom she bare unto Shaul, Armani, and Mishbosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Shaul. Wait a minute. Okay, the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Shaul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Melithite. So these weren't Dawid's children. These were, I believe Michal had another husband, didn't she?
I believe so.
So you remember when Dawid, he asked for his wife to be returned to him?
Right.
That was Michal.
Okay, but I know she had 5 sons.
I didn't either. I didn't either. And perhaps this is a different Michal, but I don't know. Would Shaul have 2 daughters named Michal? I don't know. I don't know what to think right there.
I know. Maybe the other daughter maybe the name is similar, but not the same.
It's possible.
Yeah.
All right. Verse 9. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before Yahweh. And they fell all 7 together and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of the barley harvest. And Rizpah, the daughter of Ahiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock from the beginning of the harvest until water dropped upon them out of Shemu'იმ, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them day by day, to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. And it was told Dawid that Rizpah, the daughter of Ahiah, the concubine of Shaul, had done. And Dawid went and took the bones of Shaul and the bones of Jonathan, his son, from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines were hanged them, when the Philistines had slain Shaul in Gilboa. And he brought up from thence the bones of Shaul and the bones of Jonathan his son, and they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, and the bones of Shaul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin and Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father. And they performed all that the king commanded. And after that, the Most High was entreated for the land. All right. Verse 15. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Yasharal, and Dawid went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines. And Dawid waxed faint. And Ishib Enab, which was of the sons of the giant, and the weight whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain Dawid. But Abishai, the son of Zerah, secured him and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of Dawid swore unto him, saying, You shall go no more out with us to battle, that you quench not the light of Yasharal. And it come to pass after this, that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sabikkai, the Hushathite, slew Saf, which was of the sons of the giant. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Ya'ar Gorim, Ya'ar Gorim, and a Bethlehemite slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature, and had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number. And he also was born to the giant. And when he defiled Yasharal, Jonathan, the son of Shemu'ėl, the brother of Dawid slew him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of Dawid and by the hand of his servants. Hallelujah.
Oh, praises to the Most High. Man, so let me go ahead and all right. So we read a lot here. Dawid having to deal with his son Jonathan, or not Jonathan, it's like Absalom, and his son ended up getting put to death, and Dawid was went into a funk. Now, surprisingly, Joab was the one to bring him out of the funk, because what he said made a lot of sense. If we had all died and Absalom lived, you'd be happy. But we lived and he died. And if he'd have lived, you would have died, because he was not going to stop until he was dead. So, you know, it's funny. We don't read anywhere where Absalom's hand actually moved against anybody. It was only his words. He only had other people doing his bidding. Remember, this is the prince. This is the son of the king. So when he killed his brother, he had his servant do it. And everything that he did by telling somebody else to do it. He wasn't like his father, who went out to battle and actually did the battle. I was surprised to hear he was on a donkey in the first place. He got caught up by his hair. Remember, he talked about him cutting his hair once a year, and he weighed it. It was so much hair that he weighed it. And so, yeah, Absalom was something else. One thing else that I didn't realize before, and I meant to bring it out earlier, was that there was a city named Abel or Baal in Israel, in the southern portion of it. Did you catch that out?
Yeah, Khan. And I thought about that, and I want to say it was spelled the same way as Abel as well.
That's his name. Yeah. They named it Abel, which is interesting. Very interesting. So, also when the brother was talking earlier about how we were wanting them to come to Jerusalem, he was like, "Man, I'm gonna stay here and die in my own city, and be buried here, next to my father and my mother." That made me think about us here in this country, and not only this country, but scattered throughout all the countries. We've been in this captivity for so long. Like, it's so many bones of our people that are in these lands. Like, there are so many bones. I was thinking about that while you was reading that last bit. Like, there are so many bones that are like that. I was thinking, is it even possible that we can gather all of our people's bones? I don't even think it's possible. That's how many people we've had in the United States or North America, South America. It's even more. It's even greater
Con.
numbers there than they are here. And I mean, I can't imagine. Like it took me back to what Joseph said. Take my bones. Uh, he told Moshe, or not Moshe. He was dead before Moshe came. He told them, take my bones to Canaan. Don't leave me here. And man, that made me. I can't. When that man said, when the brother said, "I will stay here and I'm gonna be buried next to my mother and my father," it made me think about all the people that we've lost here, and all the people that are buried, even people we don't even know, like we don't even know of. Like there's literally no way. I mean, we got people who went to war with this country against other countries and got killed and didn't return home. We don't know where they at. You know,
Con.
there's no way possible we could gather all these bones. But the Most High can take care of that. There's no problem. But it just made me think about it, and yeah. So anyhow, um, but now things are getting back to normal, and you know, Joab, you know, I can't trust the cat that will try to touch my beard. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't imagine a cat, try to touch your beard, brother. No.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? So he smit him under the fifth rib, and that's a deadly strike there. We need to have to learn that one. That's what I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn that one because I'm gonna have to figure out where exactly that is and get to practice it with my sword. That's
And
all I got.
and for it to be such a deadly blow,
Yeah,
I'm thinking that it has to be somewhere near the heart, or it's because it's
yeah,
a unhealable wound. It appears to be.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's just one. He hit him once, and then he laid down, and that was it. He died. Like that's it. I bet it hits the lung, and because he going into that rib, you taking part of the lung, and yeah, it may be the heart too. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I wonder how long it take a person to die from that. Do they die like slow, or do they die pretty quick, or is it, how is it exactly? But
Or maybe your lungs fill up with blood and you suffocate, or like something like that. I ain't never heard of nobody living in the scriptures after getting that hit in the fifth rib.
no, no, they don't live. Nobody lives to talk about it. It's always somebody is telling the story. It's described like, oh, he got him in the fifth rib. Yeah, he did. I mean, he did. Yeah, he
He's
did.
over. It's over. It's a
Yeah.
wrap.
God, indeed. All right, that's all I got. Go ahead, Eric.
Con, definitely don't have much. I love the fact that all of this was recorded. I don't like the fact that I can make parallels between some of the actions of our people back then to what we witness and experience nowadays. It would be a blessing for us all to learn from the mistakes of our ancestors. Apply what we're reading to do better. In loving one another. And I think in doing so, we will find that the Abba would be pleased with us in that regard as well. So, our year there, right there.
Perfect. I meant to mention and I forgot, but God dog it, the doggone Philistines are back. Like, what in the
Mm-hmm.
freak are the Philistines? Like, what are they? Because they come like freaking cockroaches. I mean, you think they gone and they just regrouping, and then they'll show up again. Like, what is this? It's like another battle with the Philistines. I'm like, the Philistines, they back.
Con.
This is ridiculous. Like, we've been fighting with these Philistines since the days of Moshe. And here we are at coming to the end of that week. And we still fight the Philistines. This is crazy.
God.
Good grief. Whew, man, my gracious. All right. All right. All praises to the Most High. We're going to go ahead and close this on out. We do this for a specific purpose, and that purpose, Romans chapter 10 and verse 1, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Ha'abba for Israel is that they might be saved. We want to see our people saved. We want to see our people set free and restored back to prominence as the Most High have promised to the children of Israel. How are we going to do it? First of all, we're going to keep the belief in Hamashiach, the Messiah, in his return, in his redemption of the children of Israel, and in his bringing us back to where it is that we're supposed to be. Also, key point, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important for us to understand that in the conclusion of the whole matter, we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, all the dust is settled, and all the smoke is cleared, we will be judged on whether we have feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the whole duty of man. I am your Akazaki Yahoo, joined by my most esteemed Akinanaya, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Wamalak, Yahweh Shai, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom, Wa Baruki, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait till the day when the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone, with our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. Until that day come, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Pakar.
All praises to the Abba. Praise you, Abba Yah. Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
And Barak Hashem Yahweh.